It's something I hear a lot, just concerns around finances and will God provide for me? What does it mean for my mortgage? Can you kind of speak into that? Because part of your research was looking at market-based assumptions and how that's really affected how we view overseas mission work. How would that kind of, can you just speak into the person who's struggling with those wrestles and how maybe there's some unhelpful assumptions behind some of those maybe?
Yeah, happily. It's a challenge for all of us, I think. We live in a market-based economy. We live in a world that is kind of the fundamental assumption is that resources are scarce and you need to get your slice of the pie. And spending on one thing means you can't spend on another, right? That's the air that we breathe. And that's the air that, we were all raised with if we're living in a sort of Western context. So that's totally understandable. But I'm not sure that actually aligns very well with the vision that we have in Scripture. How God is actually a God of incredible generosity and abundance. And we see, so what I found in my research was that, when we see people who are churches that are really meaningfully engaged in participating in global mission, that they've got their heads around this reality that God provides for his people and his purposes. That God has, the cows on 1,000 hills, as we say. God has all that we need. Now, does that mean that God's going to give us a Lamborghini? No, definitely not. But don't doubt God's goodness and don't doubt God's ability to fulfill his purposes. Hudson Taylor used to talk about God's work done in God's way never lacks God's supply, that God provides what is needed for his work. We need to have more confidence in God, I think, and in his kindness and provision for us. Trust that he will provide what you need. Have confidence that God will watch over you, provide for you. That doesn't mean it won't be tough at times, but you are his child, and as you walk in his ways, he's not going